Hi, my name is Joseph André, and I am working at Zama in the blockchain team. Today, I will present one of the most interesting new features that we added to the latest version of FHEVM, which is version 0.5. This feature is the Access Control List, or ACL for short. FHEVM now includes an ACL system that allows you to define explicitly which accounts have the right to use and manipulate which ciphertext. By making those authorizations explicit, this new system is more secure than the older implicit system, and it makes FHEVM also compatible with our new coprocessor model. ACL can be adjusted via two functions from the TFHE30 library. You have TFHE allow, which allows permanently a ciphertext to be used by a specific address at any time, and we have TFHE.allowTransient, which gives permission only temporarily, only during the lifetime of the transaction. Permanent allowance will store the authorization in the dedicated ACL contract storage, while a temporary allowance will store it in the ACL transient storage, reducing gas consumption. Transient allowance can be useful when calling an external function using a ciphertext as a parameter. To illustrate this, here is a sample example of a contract, secret giver, calling another contract, secret store. So, for instance, when we call the public function giveMySecret of the secret giver contract, first we create an encrypted variable, mySecret, by trivially encrypting some value using the TFHE as a uint16 function. This will automatically give transient allowance to mySecret for the secret giver contract by calling allowTransient under the hood when calling as a uint16 function. Then what we do is that we also give transient allowance, this time for the secret store contract, to the mySecret ciphertext. Then the secret giver contract externally calls the secret store contract on the store secret function. Inside this store secret function of the secret store contract, first we checked via tfhe.isSender function that the caller secret input was indeed allowed for the caller, which is the secret giver contract in this case. Then we use the input caller secret to do some FHE computation on it. For instance, we do a TFHE addition here. This TFHE addition will also automatically grant transient allowance for the result for the secret store contract. Then we store the handle computation result inside the storage of secret store. Then we finally make the temporary allowance for this ciphertext secret store permanent by calling TFHE allow function. This is to let the secret store contract able to reuse this ciphertext at a later stage or even request a decryption of it. So important things to note is that some functions will grant automatically temporary transient access to the calling contract. This is the case for all functions that verify user inputs, such as TFHE as a uint functions, as well as computation results, such as tfhe.add or tfhe.select, and even when generated encrypted random numbers with tfhe.run functions. For security reasons, when a function receives an encrypted variable, it needs to verify that the sender also has access to this ciphertext. This is important because otherwise, an account could send any ciphertext authorized for the contract and potentially later exploit this function to leak the encrypted value. This is done here, for instance, via the require on the tfhe.isSender function. That's it for today. Stay tuned for more information about the new releases of FHEVM.